The right window treatments change everything. Your sleep, your privacy, the way every room looks and feels. At Blinds.com, we've spent 30 years making it surprisingly simple to get exactly what your home needs. We've covered over 25 million windows and have 50,000 five-star reviews to prove we deliver. Whether you DIY it or want a pro to handle everything from measure to install, we have you covered. Real design professionals, free samples, zero pressure. Right now, get up to 45% off with minimum purchase, plus get a free professional measure at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.
Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Filmmakers Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk
filmmaking.
From indie film to studio films to high-end TV to documentaries to commercials and
everything in between.
How to get them made, how to make them, and how to try not to
royally F them up.
In a very, very humble opinion. I'm Giles Alderson.
I'm Dom Lenoir.
And on today's episode, we have a real treat for you. We not only have director and writer Richard Linklater, but we also have actor Glen Powell. What a superstar episode.
I mean, that's pretty exciting.
It's really exciting. I'm buzzing by this. We sit and chat all about their fantastic film, Hitman.
They are both men, and it was a hit. So there we go.
Yeah, they both wrote this, which is really incredible. And they tell you the story about how that happened, how it got together as filmmakers, and how they made this smash hit, Hitman. And it wasn't very long, but we had a great chat.
Because Glen was a running man back to set.
He was indeed. He was on his way. For those who don't know, Richard Linklater, he went from his debut film, It's Impossible to Learn to Plow by Reading Books, which was a film he made with almost no budget. He shot on Super 8 and literally drove around the country screaming it himself. I'm pretty sure probably screaming out the window as well, to the cult classic Dazed and Confused. And then he made the romantic trilogy Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, Before Midnight, the animated rotoscope experiments of Waking Life and A Scanner Darkly, and the groundbreaking 12 years in the making Boyhood. He's just a brilliant director, inspiring, someone who really thinks outside the box. He's defied expectations and he's kind of carved his own path. He's got a signature style, I would say, that's both intimate and epic.
Yes. Glen has obviously took everyone's breath away in Top Gun.
Oh, very nice. Maverick.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, he made pretty good impression, and then obviously he went on to do the fantastic Twisters, which we did with the episode with Ashley J. Sandberg, exec producer.
Very recently, that episode.
Now he's sort of becoming a bit of a Hollywood icon in his own rights. That's why you should turn down good supporting roles in films, especially if it's like Hope Profile, because you get up to that kind of state and you get noticed, and then suddenly you're the leading man that everyone desires for the next film.
Yeah, you could say he soared to new heights in Top Gun Maverick. He played Hangman, and interestingly, like Dom said there, he nearly turned the role down. I think he did at first, and it's fascinating how that is the role I think people remember him for a lot at the moment. He broke out in Scream Queens, and then he did his scene-stealing performance as Chad Radwell in Everybody Wants Some.
Oh, what a classic.
Which was his first team-up with Richard Linklater. Oh, it's great. It's an ode to college life in the 80s. And then he's been building this impressive career, as Dom has said. And he's been in rom-coms like Set It Up and Anyone But You with Sydney Sweeney, as well as showing off his dramatic chops in the war epic Devotion.
So chop-like.
Yeah, and he teamed up with Richard Linklater to write Hitman and then get it made. Do you want to tell our lovely audience what Hitman is about, Dom? If they haven't seen it yet, they really, really should. It's brilliant.
Well, Glen Powell plays a man pretending to be a hitman so that he can catch potential hit-ees that are looking for assassinations. And he realises he's actually pretty good with it until he meets somebody that he falls head over heels in love with, and complications arise.
Yes. It's based on a true story, believe it or not. It's inspired by a real-life undercover sting operation from the 80s and 90s, which was in a Texas Monthly article. I think Glenn talked about that. Yes, Adria Arjona is his co-star. It's brilliant. It's unique for action of comedy, romance. And it got a brilliant critical response when it premiered at the Venice Film Festival. Praise for Glen Powell's performance and obviously Linklater's direction. It's twisty as hell. It was released in select theatres earlier this year and is now streaming on Netflix. That is all to come for you on this week's episode of the Filmmakers Podcast. Our question of the week, which we'll answer at the end, we'll answer after the interview, is
it easier to be a multi-hyphenate or to concentrate on one area? It's a very LA term, multi-hyphenate.
It is. It needs its own multi-hyphenate to say it as well, doesn't it?
It does. It does, yeah.
So that's our question of the week, because that's something that Glen Powell is, not only a screenwriter, producer of a star.
Yeah.
And we wanted to know, we want to ask this question, is it easier to be a multi-hyphenate or concentrate on one area? So that will be answered after. And also, don't forget, we're going to be doing Dom and Giles' film phrase of the week.
Yeah.
Look forward to that. There might even be a jingle. There might even be one.
Oh. Someone made a jingle?
Someone made a jingle.
Oh.
Should we get to the interview?
Let's do it.
We'll play the trailer. We'll get to the interview, and the other side of that be myself and Dom answering those two questions.
Sounds great. Let's do it.
Perfect. Here is the fantastic Richard Linklater and the incredible Glen Powell.
No, I don't buy it.
What?
You're not a hitman. You can't be. I tried looking you up and nothing. It's like you don't even exist.
I guess I'm just your fantasy.
So what's the biggest difference between the real you and your occupation?
By the way, my name is Gary Johnson, and I'm a fake hitman. I realized not everyone fantasized about the same hitman. Every sting operation was a performance.
This is serious. I am in service business.
And each arrest was like a standing ovation.
Okay, Daniel Day.
I had it down to a science.
Sounds lovely.
Until things got, well,
Ron.
complicated.
Madison.
We're expecting heavy turbulence, so prepare to brace for impact.
Do I scare you?
No.
Remember the lady came in trying to have her husband killed that we let go?
No, that he let go.
Yeah, her husband was just found dead.
I'm sorry, what happened?
From my perspective, you're getting a little sloppy. You think you're Gary? The hitman.
My name is Gary Johnson, and my simple question for you is, who is your hitman?
We'll see.
Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
Hello, how we doing?
Hey, Glenn.
Y'all, how we doing?
Very good, thanks. How are you, mate?
Good. Where are you guys posted up?
London. Yeah, both in London.
Same.
Land of the cold and more cold.
I'm going to say, it's kind of a nice day.
It's got that crisp feel.
Yeah.
Hey, Richard, how are you, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
Very well.
So everybody else falls in London except me?
Yeah.
Wow.
It seems that way. Glenn, what are you doing? What are you doing in London?
I'm shooting the Running Man at Leibson Studios.
Oh, fantastic. Great studio, so much history. It's lovely.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my niece and nephew coming out, so I'm going to give them the Harry Potter tour out there. And
Classic, yeah.
Yeah, my mate's playing Ron in the West End at the moment of the show.
Oh, really?
Potter, yeah.
Oh,
he's amazing in it, Tom. He's amazing.
I mean, it's a great show. I didn't realize, I shot this movie called the Guernsey Literary Potato Peel Pie Society.
Yeah, with Lily Jones.
Very well. Lily. So Lily's a great friend of mine. So as a wrap gift, I got us tickets to the Harry Potter show. And I didn't realize that show's like 6 hours. Did you know this?
Yeah.
You have to see it in
that's a lot.
two sections, like
That is a lot.
3-hour sections.
Yeah, you do. It's worth it though, because it's incredible.
It's incredible, but it's like an all-day thing where you're like,
Yeah.
you really got to settle in with somebody. Thank God I love Lily, but like, man, that could have been a real crap gift if you didn't like me.
Yeah, because there's plenty of intervals. But yeah, Richard, when was the last time you were in London?
Oh gosh, it's fairly regular. Let's see. When was I in the fall? I mean,
Nice.
No, last spring.
We like that. Promoting Hitman, probably. Or...
Yeah, I came through with Hitman, and I got kids in school in Edinburgh, so I'm around.
You're around.
Not too far. Always looking for an excuse to get to London.
Nice. So let's dive in. Hitman. We love this movie. It's fantastic. And thank you both for coming on the Filmmakers podcast. Honestly, it means a lot. It's great. It's really cool. Love it. Yeah. We love the whole vibe of this. Look, it's based on the true story. You both wrote it together. Can we talk about that first? Can we dive into that process? Because it's never easy to write that story anyway. It's always difficult. What was that process like for you both working together on this? Who brought it to who?
Well, it's during the pandemic. We'll go back and set the stage. The pandemic.
Please.
I get a call from my buddy Glenn.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, I read this article about this Hitman in Texas Monthly. I think you should read it. I'm like, Glenn, I read that in 2001 when it came out. I don't know what grade you were in, but it's a long time ago. I've been obsessed with that story, but I love the guy. I love that weird job he had. Everything about it's cool, but I just don't know the story. So we just started talking about it. And it was great for me. Looking back, I was like, okay, that's the key moment. I thought about this thing for years, but it really took finding a creative collaborator. So I think what we did was textbook collaboration. We really pushed each other and we discovered things that neither of us could have on our own. And we had this blank canvas. It was COVID. There were no deadlines. This wasn't an industry thing. No one hired us. We just did this on our own, kind of, hoping to make a film out of it. So we fell in on it and just kind of got obsessed with Gary Johnson and his place in the world. And, we had all this crazy research from his real life. And then we took some leaps and I don't know. It was a fun process. Glenn, what do contribute here? I feel like
I really feel like, it was a very, you're exactly right. The COVID provided a very interesting foundation for this because not only did we have no, deadlines or anything like that, but I do feel like our brains during COVID, it was two very, everybody kind of took two paths. You either like started building something like, all these people sort of like worked on different skills or like tried to do the things that they always talked about, or they just like, I don't know, slept more. I don't know, whatever.
everyone learned to break bread. That seemed to be like,
and it's like, but Rick, I think what was also sort of in the water was the fact that there was a lot of this contemplation of identity, and you started seeing how people were doubling down on identities that were always within them, feelings they always had, but never really had the courage to pursue. Right. And it was a very interesting thing to watch. People that were stuck in relationships, jettisoned out of them, people that were stuck in jobs, left, people that felt like they were stuck in certain places, were scattered around the globe. And it was kind of an exciting thing, how this global thing changed the way that people responded to this sort of way they saw themselves and what was going to fulfill them and make them happy. So I think that what was really fun is talking with Rick during that time period. I'd go on these walks, and every time Rick and I would really pretty much talk, every day or every other day. And we'd have these wonderful conversations. And the best part is Rick and I are just great friends. So it's like, it wasn't like, you answer that call and you're just sort of talking about life and you're talking about the world and what we're both up to. And it's so fun because Rick's brain is always, it always leads to somewhere interesting and poignant. His brain just it's a wonderful place to follow because it always ends somewhere great. And it would always come back to the story, of Gary and how we kind of applied to it. And so we just had a blast. And so we just kind of keep this running document of who Gary was and where it could kind of go. But it was a very natural thing. We just sort of started kind of placing it in this running doc. And then soon enough, we just sort of looked at each other. He just said, do you want to just write this? And that's what we did. We just sort of, you handle this sort of sequence or this sort of set of scenes, and we kind of put them together and kind of kept reading over it. And soon enough, we had a script. It was a very effortless process and really a delight.
So how did you kind of set the tone of the character, and where to sort of place who he was going to be? I mean, you've got a real story here. There's obviously a romance element. There's a cop espionage sort of style to it, and then there's obviously the comedy. Like, how did you kind of fit that into how it was developing?
Well, I think the architecture of that we sort of always intended was sort of based on this one part of the article in Texas Monthly. Skip Hollingsworth wrote this amazing article about the real life Gary Johnson and his career, and sort of all these things that we couldn't make up. This man was so fascinating, and even all the research that we read through, it's like he just became more and more fascinating. So there were all these things we couldn't make up, but then we found this one piece of the article that was really cool, where we talked about this woman that he actually sat down with, who, she was going to kill her husband, or she was trying to hire him to kill her husband, and convince her not to do it. And there was some sort of talk about a relationship, a friendship, or whatever it was that developed from that. And Rick and I both looked at each other. We're like, well, we have a lot of questions about what the nature of this is. If he convinced her not to do this, did he ever come clean that he wasn't a real hitman? Did he ever, what was this? And so we started thinking like, well, maybe there's sort of this story built on a lie here. Maybe he never came clean. And what does that look like? And what does that mean? And how did he, remain in this thing? And what that ended up doing is really charging our imaginations. And what I always sort of liken it to sort of Tootsie, which is the comp of, a guy who's sort of stuck in an identity, puts on the mask of someone else, and ends up changing his perspective about who he is and how he moves through the world. And I thought that was like, okay, that's like an interesting architecture. If we can have a guy that feels stuck in who he is, get the opportunity to be someone else through one of these characters that he plays, it changes the way that he moves through the world with this person, and it was just an interesting opportunity, because it's nothing more than self-identity and perspective, but that's what really opens the story up in a really, really fun way. And that's what we just got really excited about.
It's great, isn't it? How you can have these little genesises that start everything, and then that the whole sort of film and tone can sort of spring from there.
Right. That supercharged our genre on a cinematic level too. That becomes every choice we made. Well, this is kind of a film noir if that's happening. And then it's like, well, if they're romantic, that whole thing of this is a screwball comedy, what's keeping them apart is this identity thing. And she's got this, so we were kind of finding our story within those genres, which was really fascinating, all in this idea of identity and self. So I don't know. We went down a lot of roads, and we realized, oh, that's something I've seen before. The rules of film noir is the poor guy ends up, dead or in prison because of his, lust, and she's maybe a black widow who set him up. We've seen all that. What if this is something purer in a way, like they really are meant to for each other, but they've got these problems keeping them apart. So, we took a slightly different ride within those genres. So it was fun to play in those sandboxes.
I think the what ifs was something that really became very fun for the two of us, is like the idea of understanding the movies that we were honoring, the certain genres and tropes. Like, there are, we're playing in a lot of different sandboxes here, but the idea of like going with a, the sort of noir sort of genre, it's like this idea, like, was that the Hays Code that sort of made those movies have to sort of end a certain way. Yeah. And I think what was really fun for us is we were like, what if this was the story of like the two parents that are next to you in the PTA, that you're just like, wow, they're just a perfect couple. Like, what would, if this was the genesis of their story? And, and just, it put a different flavor on it, and it kind of, it's fun how just entertaining each other sort of ended up sort of coloring in the story with just sort of unexpected flavors that kind of just jazz the rest of it up, that kept it unexpected for audiences,
Yeah. You said you wrote it on spec in a way as well, which is kind of really interesting and kind of unexpected for us, knowing where the two of you are in your careers as well at that time. And I know it's different now as well. But how was that once you obviously got to a draft where you were happy and you started to show it to people? What came back from that? What changed from those moments for our screenwriters out there?
Yeah, there's always that disappointing moment in the life of a film where you have a script you're so excited about. You can see this entertaining, fun movie, and then you give it to people whose job it is to say yes or no, and they kind of the glass was completely full in our thing, and then you see the glass half empty in their mind, and they don't understand this or that. Yeah, there's always that kind of like, oh gosh.
I know, it's like an egg timer, isn't it? You hand them the full egg timer and they sort of turn it over and you watch the sand sort of dripping out of their eyes.
Sand falls out the bottom, yeah.
I know this so well. I've been doing this I know that feeling so well. It's like, okay, don't panic. We'll get this made on a much lower, budget. So we were lucky we got the film made at all. And it all came back around. A lot of the people who didn't want to make it ended up wanting to show it.
What were the concerns? Was it the genre? Was it the sort of subverting of the genre? I mean, obviously you've got yourself attached, you've got Glenn. I mean, that's a pretty good package you'd expect from from us as outsiders.
We thought so. What was it, Glenn? I think it just wasn't. I couldn't figure out. We can go through a lot of dumb notes we got. I could tell one person
we'd love a dumb note.
We thought they liked it, and then it was clear that they thought it should be. It just they hadn't seen this before. They were thrown off. They wanted it to be like a normal Hitman movie. I said, I think they wanted you to be a real Hitman. Is that the note I'm getting? The entire premise, the whole point of the movie.
Yeah.
But it's the title.
That was a really disheartening one because it was so funny. And it happened several times over is like, because people, I think you're exactly right. Like Rick, the fact that Rick and I working together, I think was exciting to a lot of people and like, oh, what we could create together. But inevitably, every single time we got notes, they always wanted it to be an actual Hitman movie. And we were like, no, this is the antidote. This is the antithesis. This is the fact that it makes it fresh and original. That's the whole point. Mm-hmm. And they're like, no. Like, but what if? And you're like, that's not the movie.
Right at the end.
Yeah, it was so.
He kills everyone.
And the whole point is we're debunking the Hitman. We're debunking the genre we're in because it doesn't exist. It's all based on myth. It's all a big lie. And people they want the lie. They want the lie. But we really thought we had, we were just, we were deconstructing the Hitman movie, not embracing it. But in a way, we honor it in our own way also. So we thought we were, but, you can't expect words on a page. People just aren't that, sharp. I don't know.
Yeah. So what did you do to sort of bring them round or like you say, made it on a lower budget? Can you talk through how you went, okay, here's what we're going to do?
It only takes one, Stuart Ford, the producer, put together money internationally. We got it made.
Pre-sales and
okay. So we did it. It's just, you adapt, you don't complain. You just, every day we're just glad we have the opportunity to make this movie that seemingly a lot of people don't understand, but we understood it. So that's all we cared about.
Do you think it's harder to make this kind of movie, like things that aren't expected or that are subverting expectations or IP that's like new or interesting? Like, it seems to be like the landscape finds it harder to make smart movies these days.
Almost impossible. I mean, it's so difficult. I mean, just look at the films. Yeah, but they get made, we're the privileged few who do get to make it, so somehow, some way, I'm not going to complain, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's just, audiences, it's hard to find, it's more difficult than ever.
Glenn?
You just look at everybody's job at a certain place. It's an interesting moment in this business because, everybody acts like their jobs are on the line at any given. The sky's falling and the death of this and it's never coming back and blah blah blah. And what you realize is fear-based art is like just the worst. It just and how everybody is worried about their piece of the earth, right? Which is fine. It's like they're worried about how to market the movie, right? Which makes total sense. And like You know, hey, we gotta make money in this territory. We gotta make money in this territory. And what Rick and I always went back to is that this is a universal story, right? In terms of, there's not one person on the planet that doesn't have there is not a discrepancy and a difference between the way that they feel inside and the way that the world sees them, right? That's a universal feeling no matter what area of the world you live in. And if you can capture that feeling, the feeling of the gift of getting to be someone else, the person that you feel that is on the inside, it's unappreciated, it's unseen, then you have a movie that translates anywhere. You know what I mean? And that's invaluable. That's not for one demographic of a world who cares about crime movies. That's a human movie, right? And that's a movie that can travel, and that's a movie that can resonate with people. And I think that's a hard thing for a lot of people greenlighting movies and building movies to understand sometimes, is that movies are feelings, right? Sometimes they're not just a series of facts and figures. You have to just go, hey, I think this will resonate because this, and sometimes you just have to trust that feeling. So thank God we got the money together, and Rick and I were able to not have to explain what we were going to do, but just show what we were going to do.
Yeah.
Oh, can I entertain you guys with
Please.
one more dumb response, since you seem to like that? This was maybe the dumbest, actually, but it was so brief. There was another company, it'll go nameless, but they're trying to kind of have a somewhat clean image. All the execs wanted to do this movie. We had some real champions there.
Mm-hmm.
And it got up to the top, and the guys were like, oh, you know, we don't want to make films like Natural Born Killers. So they passed on it.
Wow.
They compared our movie to Natural Born Killers and a kind of film they don't want to make.
That's upsetting, isn't it?
How many levels of incorrect?
Yeah, it's totally not this kind of movie. Well, and it is one of these wonderful, it's kind of really warm, fun, but serious. It's got all these wonderful elements in it. Let's talk about the making of it, making of Hitman in terms of the directing and acting.
It's the fun stuff.
The fun stuff. Yeah. Let's talk about that. Obviously, in terms of your directing style, things like, let's go there first in terms of like the violence in it. It's not trivial. It's not over sensational, but it is sort of fun and beautiful at the same time. How do you go about doing that? And then we'll come back to Glenn following that in terms of your character arc as well, so it still feels alive.
So you're asking about violence?
Yeah, there's sort of the fun side of that, all the fun sort of caper side.
Almost all our violence till near the end, obviously.
For sure. But
is kind of theoretical, right? It's all make-believe. It's cutting off fingers and throwing them out the thing, decapitation, letting the alligators. I mean, it's all just made up stuff. It's pulpy, like the genre we're in, it's all myth. So it was kind of fun to operate there. And we got a lot of that from actual Hitman manuals. And there's a whole small underground industry about Hitman this, Hitman that.
Okay.
I bought a Hitman manual in the early 90s reading about how to be a Hitman. Turns out it was written by some Florida housewife, just based on like a lot of mafia stuff. It's all BS. Even The Godfather. Those were things my mom said to me, your friends close and your enemies close, It's all myth. But I love, it's where pop culture meets reality. So we were meeting it there, and I thought that was fascinating. So
yeah.
But there's not that much violence. And,
No, but the idea of it. Do you storyboard your sort of everything in terms of your?
No.
Talk to me about that when you you come on set and you have you block it through. Talk to me how you do that. That'd be great.
We rehearse a lot, and while we're rehearsing, I'm thinking how I'm going to shoot it, but I don't want to be too. I think storyboards, you kind of lock your actor into a frame and tell them what to do. I just want to feel it and have it be real in the space. And then I've done this enough that I used to stay up all night planning every shot to the T. That was just insecurity. I know I for what we're doing, I can.
It's in your bones.
Yeah. It's more instinctual at this point.
Yeah.
And fun, just to feel that develop as we're developing the scene. So try not to be too preconceived. I want it to be up to the minute, inspired with all that performance and how to shoot it.
And then I suppose to you then, Glenn, how does that feel for you to work that way? You know, in terms of, because sometimes things can be very set up in terms of big action sequences, but here, like you say, Richard's saying it's a bit more, let's find it. How was that for you? How do you like to work?
Well, it's incredibly freeing as an actor, because you're exactly right. Like, you're not trying to have your performance fit into a canvas sometimes that doesn't support it organically or properly. Rick is truly, I've never met a filmmaker who is so generous with actors and allows actors to have such a seat at the table. And especially in the rehearsal process, as we're kind of reading through the script and really developing it, he's really listening to how people are speaking and what they're bringing to the table and what those attributes are and the flavors. And what it ends up doing is it creates ownership of a character, so that whenever you do get to that space, everybody's on the same page with how your character orients through space and interacts with a team. There's not a lot of questions. There doesn't seem to be a lot of insecurity on Richard Linklater sets in the best way possible. There's a great team aspect, you know, and I think that's what allows him to probably not have to do storyboards, is the everybody's dialed in. They all understand the target, what we're all moving towards. And so when it comes to blocking, like, you get there in the space, and I feel like everybody can kind of contribute ideas, feel how it feels, and he can just watch how it moves. And he's obviously been doing this at the highest level for a very long time. So it comes very quickly. But what it does for an actor is it makes you, it doesn't allow you to have to sit with really uncomfortable thoughts or figure out how to reverse engineer a performance. It allows you to really hold on to the reins in a way that allows you to move through the scene in a way that's really exciting and joyful, and allows you to it's just the way, it's the best. It's the best. I left every day. So often on movie sets, you leave and you put your head on your pillow and you're like, damn it, I played that completely wrong. I wish I would have figured this out. But it's not the same way, because Rick, you know, we read through the script enough and we talk about it enough, and he really gives you the reins where you execute that day as a team. You know, you all go for the win, and everybody goes to bed happy and wakes up happy, charged up to do it again.
And I think you did such an amazing job collaborating together, and it definitely comes off in the film. Richard and Glenn, thank you so much for joining us. We've got to wrap it up there.
Oh,
this is so fun, man.
Talk forever. So anyway, good seeing you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. All the best.
Congratulations again.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
They were brilliant. I would have loved to have had more time. I think we even squeezed a few more minutes out of it anyway, as it was. But it's always kind of fun, isn't it, when you jump on a Zoom and there's, you know, one of your heroes, directing heroes, Richard Linklater, and then joining him is one of the biggest stars, up and coming stars in the world right now, just on your Zoom. Hiya, you all right?
Yeah, just casual. Yeah,
just casual.
Just having a natter.
Having a general natter. I was so excited. I don't think I even pressed record straight away. So I think I missed the hellos. I'm going to edit the interview in a minute.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah,
the most of our 15 minutes.
Yeah. It's just the last minute. That's all I recorded. I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's all we need.
That's all you need. That's all you need. Just brilliant. Hitman is out. Go watch it now. It's great. If you've not seen it, do go watch it. If you've seen it, watch it again with fresh eyes now. It's on Netflix. Go watch it. Something I think was important during that is that Glenn really went out of his way to get this film made. He really pushed for it. He really fought for it. You know, he wrote it with Richard, and that's great. I think that's really important. But I think the question we want to say, the question of the week, is it easier to be a multi-hyphenate? Or is it easy to just concentrate in one area? If you're a director, should you write? Should you produce? If you're an actor, should you write, direct, produce? You know, if you're a DOP, should you direct? Do you know what I mean? It's like, should we stay in our lane? Should we be multi-hyphenate?
Just should you?
Should you? Well, that's the question. And it's a good question. What do you think?
I think it helps. I mean, I think... I don't know. I mean, obviously the big one is, if you're a director and you can produce, that certainly helps. You can get things moving. You don't have to wait for someone. If you're an actor, you can write. That means you're not waiting for someone to cast you necessarily, or you're doing it as well as. So I think it does help. And I think there's certain places like, you can go to film festivals. Sometimes it's easier to market yourself as a writer or as a producer than, as an actor or a director, depending on who you're speaking to. So I think it certainly helps to, maybe it does, maybe it just takes a bit of the tension away. But I suppose it depends who you're speaking to. That's my thought.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I've always been a multi-hyphenate, I suppose. I've been like that screwdriver at the back of the cupboard that has lots of different, appliances on it. That's pretty useless most of the time. It's sort of wonky, doesn't really work on most bits, but with a little bit of oil.
Is a bit of a prick.
With a little bit of help, it could be really useful. It's
maybe it never is, but could be.
Well, it's the wonderful film, Danny Boyle film, where his arm's stuck in a rock and he can't get out. 127 hours.
Yep.
And he's only got a Swiss Army knife.
We've all been there.
I'm that Swiss Army knife, right?
Yeah. Or maybe you're the Rock.
Maybe I'm the Rock, stopping me getting out. I'm a blunt knife trying to hack through my own arm so that I can escape myself. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's really important that you're aware of other areas. I definitely think I became a better director learning how to edit. I definitely think I became a better actor at the time I was acting because I'd been behind a camera. I'd understood that it wasn't all about the actor and it was about everything. That was really important. So yeah, I think the more that actors can hold a boom, can do makeup, can, be on set, understand first AD, third AD run, you understand what goes into filmmaking so that you understand what camera lenses do, which means when you're going to get a close-up or a wide or what is happening without having to ask or feel like you don't know.
Yeah.
And don't give too big a performance when it's on a big wide. That's really important for actors. And the same, for crew members, or if you want to be a director, get on set, learn, watch. Wow, for every young or new director out there, holding a boom is huge. Learning how to edit is huge. You understand so much more about filmmaking if you can do those things. And what they go through as well.
Yeah, I mean, everyone goes through so much. It's
yeah. But if you just concentrate on one area, you don't know that.
Ain't that the truth?
But I also think the other side of that is, if we're too busy producing, let's say, does that get in the way of directing? Does that, especially if it's not your project, you're producing for other people when you want to direct, or if you're writing for other people when you want to make your own projects. I don't know. I think it's a really tough one to answer, but I think it's important that you answer it yourselves and knowing your hearts what you really want to do, and then just push that area a bit more. So otherwise you can get lost in this industry and you end up doing something that you weren't really always wanting to do. Doesn't mean you're supposed to do that. It just means if that's what you want to do, give it a go. I
think maybe it's a good way for your sanity as well, to have something else that isn't the main thing that you can do in the meantime and keep your foot in the water for sure.
Yeah.
I think that is a very useful tool for networking and just being part of the industry sometimes when work's slow or things are taking a while.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, shall we do Dom and Giles's film phrase of the week? Should we play the little jingle?
Yes.
Should we do it?
Yes, why not?
We got sent a jingle. This happened last week. It was the first
Didn't realise it was real.
time we did this, and I sang the jingle, and obviously it got ridiculed by Dom. And Dom decided that it's probably better if his name goes first. So should we see what the jingle person did?
Let's do it. I'm pretty excited. I haven't even heard this yet.
No, I know you haven't. Here it is.
Dom and Giles's film of the week. Dom and Giles's film of the week. Oh, Dom and Giles's film of the week. Dom and Giles's film of the week.
And they put your name first.
Well, it is Dom and Giles. I was saying this the other day in our discussions that Dom and Giles maybe just has a better ring to it. It's no hierarchy thing. It's just the way the words sound.
Yeah. So that was from Paul Sherman, who wrote that for us. Thank you. That's really cool of you to do that. It's a delight.
Now at McDonald's, a McDouble is $2.50, so you can get your gym gains on, or just get lunch for only $2.50. Get more value on the under $3 menu.
Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher for delivery.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
So this is the film term of the week. Then is, you ready?
I'm ready.
Elephant's diaphragm.
Ah,
I'll say it again. Elephant's diaphragm. This is a film term, and this is, as I say, last week was the first time we did this. We're going to do a film term at the end of every episode if me and Dom are doing it together, or, whatever. We're going to try to. Of a film phrase that you might not know. That if you hear it on set, now you will know. Or you can say it yourself just for fun. Well, last week's was cheese plate, which is a metal plate with holes in it used to create camera rigs. This week, it is elephant's diaphragm. What is an elephant's diaphragm, Dom?
I don't know, but in German, which I've just been learning, it is
you Google
der Elefant. So there we go.
There we go.
Mean, I don't know what diaphragm is. I haven't got that far in my German, but I do know what an elephant is.
Oh, that's really good to know. So, an elephant's diaphragm. Do you want to guess what it is?
I think
something
it's
to do
definitely
with the light.
Camera. Oh, okay. What? Did you say it was lights?
It's more to do with lights, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, it's going to be something that restricts lighting or picture, isn't it? It's obviously going to be elephant's diaphragm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I suspect I could be wrong, but it could be like one of those sort of concertinery things that's almost like literally looks like a neck where it has like a hole in the middle, and then you sort of plonk it on a light, and it's like a extended softbox type thing. But I could be wrong. Probably am wrong.
Not far off. It's actually a round foldable reflector.
Oh, there we go.
Used to provide a source of fill light. So it's kind of like one of those big shiny. Sometimes you've got gold on one side and silver at the other, and you unfold it and all this. It's very similar to this. It's a foldable reflector. But this one, it's called an elephant's diaphragm.
Yeah.
There you go. Next time you're on set.
Elephantastic.
DP says, can you get out the elephant's diaphragm? You'll know what it is. It's a foldable reflector. Now you'll never forget it.
Exactly.
How fun was that? And that was Dom and Giles. It's film terms of the week.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Was that the jingle?
Thank you so much for listening. Hitman is out now on Netflix. Go watch it. Go support. Thank you so much to Richard Linklater. Thanks so much to Glen Powell. Thank you so much to the team that set that up for us.
And if you'd like to see Giles in one of those fantastic wigs, tune in next week.
Actually, if you go to our YouTube, you can see Dom in one of those fantastic wigs in our sketch for Mission Impossible. Dom is wearing one of, it's got to be similar to Glen Powell's wig. It's also got a ridiculous moustache on.
It's classic.
So if you haven't gone to our YouTube, go there now, the Filmmakers Podcast on YouTube. Some of the, pretty much all the filmed episodes are on there now. Got wicked director John M. Chu. We've got Elizabeth Olsen, Carrie Coon. We've got Olivia Williams, Emily Watson, Chris Mason, Travis Fimmel. List goes on.
I mean, it's a pretty good list. If you look
Zack
at it.
Snyder. I'm not looking at it. I'm remembering. It's ridiculous.
Simon Pegg, Rebecca Ferguson.
There you go. Thank you. Yeah. Chris McQuarrie.
David Ayer.
Yeah. And Rob Marshall. So anyway, that's go to our YouTube. And if you do like this, do tell your friends. That's how we grow. That's how we get bigger. That's how we get amazing guests on, like Richard Linklater and Glen Powell, because we're growing all the time. And you're telling your friends. It's very important. And if they don't know what an elephant's diaphragm is, don't let them know. Tell them to listen to the episode.
Or go out into the wild yourself. Go out on safari. Look at the elephants and figure it out yourself.
And film them while you're there. Get some beautiful footage and make a documentary about how they should be in the wild.
Der Elefant.
The elephant. We will see you next Tuesday when we have on...
I think it's Sarah Brocklehurst.
It is. It's Sarah Brocklehurst talking about The Outrun.
Speaking of The Outrun.
Yeah, Don mentioned it earlier. Saoirse Ronan starring brilliant indie movie. Sarah Brocklehurst on next week.
Can't outrun that one.
Hey, Beckham Woods talking about Heretic coming up. Don was chatting to the Skeleton Crew gang. And then it's Christmas, everyone.
Pretty darn exciting.
Not far off now. Happy December. I'm about to shave my moustache off. I've had it now for Movember. Thanks for those that supported. We raised over £1,000 for men's mental health. Amazing.
Well, there we go. That's wonderful.
It is wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. You're all superstars. If you're lucky enough to rise up and do well, just as Richard Linklater and Glen Powell has done, it is your duty to
assassinate your rivals, just as Glen Powell did, or didn't.
No, he's supposed to pass on the information to them so they don't have to assassinate them. Oh,
well, that too.
That too. As your lawyer, listener, please don't go and assassinate him. We do not endorse.
Or do we? Depends who it is, really.
We don't. We will see you next Tuesday. Take care. Thank you, Dom.
Bye, Giles. Thank you.
Bye.